literally every day I meet people who say, I voted Remain, but because of the way they've behaved ever since, I would now, if there was another referendum, vote to leave. So we're about 70% now that say it was the right thing to do. So the big picture is we're out, it's great, we're now an independent country, which means we now have the right to mismanage our own future or to get it right. I never pretended for 25 years that just because we left the European Union, everything would be solved, our problems would be over. What I said was we would be the masters of our own destiny.
Well, it's
so
interesting.
that's the big picture, Alex. You know, that's the big picture. Now, I mean, the whole world wants to invest in this country. That is a vote of confidence in Brexit Britain. So overall, am I happy with where we are? Well, I'd say I'm 75 to 80% happy with where we are. There is still unfinished business, but overall, the fact we've put this behind us, this shocking period of those 3 or 4 years, I think is very good news.
What happens on the farm is felt on the high street. Major brands like Nando's and KFC have closed restaurants or cut menus in recent weeks, and even McDonald's can't restock its milkshakes, thanks in large part to the most salient shortage of all, of the lorry drivers every sector depends on. The haulage industry says it's facing a shortfall of up to 100,000 drivers, and businesses have pleaded with ministers to temporarily lift post-Brexit immigration rules to allow EU workers to come and help keep the economy moving.
It hasn't been easy. I mean, Brexit has caused its own problems, as we know, and you're right, that has caused massive delays at entry points into the UK. And we are now having to do a lot more red tape paperwork than we had to before.
The blood test tube products are made by a company called Becton Dickinson, and it has told the BBC that it is facing serious supply chain issues. While the company says it has seen a rise in demand for tests during the pandemic, it's facing real problems at the UK border.
Yeah, you dealing with this Brexit success?
How are you doing? All good?
Thanks.
What's happening?
Well, things are going well.
Are you the guys who are being inundated with all the emails from everywhere in the world saying, please help my son, mother, get out of Afghanistan? Yeah, I've had a few.
With this absolutely useless president that you now have, who was the toast of, you know, the liberal media, the man who was going to solve all the world's problems, the man who was going to, you know, pour oil on troubled waters. I mean, he's caused the biggest disaster in foreign policy history, hasn't he?
We told you so. I mean, we told everybody. You can't have a senile, doddering old man who's been a swamp creature for 47 years, never had a real job, come in and not screw things up.
Cognitive decline is not a funny thing. Many people see it in their own families, and it's horrible. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But we're talking about a man here who isn't just the President of the United States of America. He is the leader of the free world, and it's my contention that he's not fit for office.
Things are going to go from bad to worse, and it's clear that impeachment proceedings must be considered. Look at this pathetic photo from last night's press conference. Are we supposed to admire that? Am I supposed to be inspired? That's not the body language of humility and sorrow. It's the body language of submission, failure, and defeat, not qualities associated with the great nation that is the United States. In my view, Joe Biden has neither the cognitive health or political and strategic judgment to lead our country, America, of course, a country that we're all invested in being successful, because actually America's president is our president.
Do you think that Biden should be impeached for the way that we withdrew?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think he should, along with, you know, Nancy and Harris. And I mean, it's punishable, could be by death. And I think, like, if not, there should be absolute jail sentence time.
I think that's an impeachable offense. I think Joe Biden should be impeached. Personally, I hate him. Yeah. I hate him with a passion.
That's my father-in-law right there speaking on behalf of his grandkids. You with that diaper on your face, if he farted right now, could you smell it? That's how stupid this is. We're all playing games here with people's lives. I'm sick of it. I represent all these hardworking guys that couldn't be here today to take off work to put up with this BS that you guys are putting down. And there's hell coming. There's hell coming, and I'm not doing it to threaten anybody. But there's a lot of good guys out there ready to do bad things soon. Watch what's coming.
Not him. He would never do that stuff. He's not threatening us, but he's just letting us know other people might do stuff if they have to wear a mask.
These mandates are against the Nuremberg codes.
Uh-oh, now it's gone completely off the rails.
The first one states voluntary informed consent.
I definitely disagree with everything about the liberal left side. I disagree with all their values. I disagree with all Joe Biden and Kamala Harris values. Like I said, I hate them. In the end, they're all bad and sinful people, and they're not right in the head.
And boy, did they let us know they weren't happy. Meanwhile, citizens, the vast majority of whom had never lived a single day outside the EU, were warned of everything they were set to lose. The sense that a generation whose rights, privileges and accesses were being stolen by a belligerent underclass or arrogant politicians was palpable. Actual tears were wept as headlines spoke of catastrophic economic outcomes, blocks on travel, the end of study abroad programmes, massive roaming charges, the end of cheaper foreign workers, French wine, Dutch cheese, human rights, kids being sent up chimneys, super STIs spreading across the land, racists running riot. The warnings only just stopped short of the sky falling in and imminent nuclear apocalypse. Well, that hasn't really happened, has it? Or has it? I've never been employed by Cambridge Analytica in my life. I was working in Kenya during the election campaign time. I worked alongside various people and various organisations during election time. Everything I was doing was in the interest of promoting peace, security and stability in that country. Okay. I love Kenya.
But whilst I'm under contract with Cambridge Analytica, you know, if they had found that I'd spoken to a journalist about them, then do you know what I mean? Non-disclosure agreements, all the rest of it. I wasn't working for Jubilee. I was employed by Cambridge Analytica, who had the contract with Jubilee.
I didn't work for them at all. Why did you? That's libels. You can't put this online, my friend.
A lot of distressed people saying that their families being left behind and obviously wanting to free them. But, yeah.
Do we know whether the crowd has thinned out yet because of the terrorist attack? I thought it was extraordinary that they all stayed.
Amazing, yeah.
I think there are still a few people who are trying to get in, but a lot of them have dispersed or gone back home because of our advice to them.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for what you're doing.
No equivalence with the EU and financial markets threatening to drive thousands away from the City of London into the open arms of a, well, mediocre financial services sector, hungrily awaiting in Frankfurt.
In my view, Joe Biden has neither the cognitive health or political and strategic judgment to lead our country.
Boy, did they let us know they weren't happy. I love Kenya. All right.
You're wrong, and you're a grotesquely ugly freak. Thanks.